You're watching TVC Breakfast. Now, some 26 states are on the receiving end of organized labor's wrath over failure to implement the new minimum wage before the expiration of a December 31 deadline.
President of the Nigeria Labour Congress, Ayuba Waba, says that only 10 states have either started paying or been in negotiations with the workers, while workers in Lagos and Kaduna have joined their colleagues on the federal government payroll in enjoying the new minimum wage. Many others are yet to benefit.
Now, of the 26 states yet to implement the new 30,000 naira minimum wage, the union said it will declare a trade dispute with 3 states, Cross River, Kogi and Taraba, for failing to initiate implementation talks with workers. The other 23, according to the union, are in talks on the minimum wage payment and the consequential adjustment on senior civil servant salaries. Joining us now is a chartered accountant and social commentator, Dayo Lamuagun. Dayo, it's good to have you join us now. Now, how much of a burden is it going to be on states? Because upon this, from April 2018, that the president signed the new minimum wage has become law. And from that on until now, it means that the governments are owing salaries of since that time until now. And if after so many months, there's still the issue of deciding how to pay and how not to pay and negotiating here. How much of a burden is it going to be on state to even think of the backlog of arrears they're going to be paying on the minimum wage?
I mean, you see, unfortunately, as it stands, there's a law that back up that minimum wage.
Yes.
I mean, so it's not a matter of whether they
will pay or not.
They're going to pay.
Okay.
They should pay, and they must pay. But the concern should be, you see, the state should to at least show the interest, the concern, the seriousness that is entailed. That they are just ready to adhere to the minimum wage law. Now, negotiations are on. Now, can we close this negotiation as quickly as possible? The state that are, saying they're not ready and they're flagrant disobedience to that law, can they check themselves and come back to the table? Yeah, we know the money is not there. It's not always there. I mean, you need to source for money. Yes, we understand that. But just let's see the seriousness. So once that is done, and there's a willingness and readiness to pay, then we can just begin to discuss with labor that look, clearly they can. We don't even expect them to pay that backlog once. Some of the governors, they still have 3 years, some of them have 2 years, 4 years, and so on. So they can actually spread it. And I think labor should be ready to, we will be ready to consent to that. So the burden is there, but there's a law that says labor should collect that. So it's not, you don't even want to go there that they won't pay, they must pay.
But you would recall that before we finally agreed that to the 30,000 naira, there was a back and forth with government, some state governments saying that it is about 25,000 naira that they can pay and that they cannot afford to pay even the 30,000 naira minimum wage. It means that perhaps they had made their stance clear, but that's on the one hand. Now, NLC is saying that its state councils should have a robust engagement with state government. What point of view, or where should NLC, stand in having this discussion? Where would you want, or what kind of robust discussions would you expect NLC to have with state governments at this time, such that workers can benefit at the end of the day?
You see, I think leaving it to the states alone, and I'm sorry to say this, to talk this way, you can be sure that most workers will collect peanut at the end of the day. Yes, I understand some states, they don't seem to have the capacity. But you discover that states who will have the capacity, they will be ready to pay just peanut to their workers because they see. And
that's what NLC is trying to avoid.
So I think, like I said, there's already a law grant saying pay this minimum wage. Now that we're going to the state, are we starting a new cycle of negotiation? And if that is the case, what are they negotiating for? With the union be negotiating for something lower? And where was the state? What was their position when the law was signed? At the point they all reconciled. And that was less.
So one expects that by now they should have known where the plans as to, okay, the 30,000 naira is the foundation. on that, for senior civil servants and all of that, what is going to be the increment or marginal difference between that time and now?
So what position should NLC take at this point?
Yeah, for me, I think, yes, as a Nigerian, we don't want an industrial arrest because we know the impact. I mean, our system are already too bad. You don't want them to get worse. So you possibly want to say, oh, labor should not go on strike. I mean, but again, if this is a legitimate stuff, I think while we're pleading with the labor union, we're still talking to our government. Don't always say this money is not there. I mean, we hear the money that we're being read out. Some of these state governors, you know what they collect as a security vote in hundreds of billions. That's not accounted for.
Okay. Well, there's also the talk about state governments working hard and not just waiting for monies to come from Abuja. But anyway, thank you very much, Dayo, for coming on the program. Thank you. Right.
Well, joining us now is a chartered accountant and social commentator, Dayo Lomowagon. Good morning. Thank you for joining us on TVC Breakfast.
Always a pleasure. Thank you.
Although Labour is talking tough, some cross-section of Nigerians are of the opinion that perhaps Labour should be looking at the aspect of the provision of basic necessities, such like housing and good roads for workers, because even the 30,000 naira that we're talking about may not have as much value. But then the question as to if Labour has the capacity to push for such, I wonder what you make of this.
You see, for me, I mean, we've been in this country together for decades now, and we know that things possibly don't work that way. We have tested a commitment of government to governance, to good governance, to getting the dividend of democracy closer to the people. I mean, see how many trillions of naira we have made in the last 20 years, for example. Where have those money gone to? You hardly justify them by what you see on the street, the roads, the raid, where, I mean, so to think that workers should wait till they see, yeah, maybe good think that workers should wait till they see, yeah, maybe good opinion, but to the extent that we are not sure those infrastructural things will eventually come. But again, a hungry man is an angry man. You cannot go to sleep with empty stomach.
Absolutely.
Expecting that, oh, the road will be good and all that. So for me, I think, yeah, that's a good idea.
Because in the end, their own argument that is in the end, this money that we are fighting for, they will use it to, ensure that they have all of these things, and they don't really get value for this money.
I agree with you, but it's when it comes to a point that you cannot trust your leaders, that there will be a fair sharing of the national cake, then you want to be sure what should come to you comes to you.
Is that where we are right now?
I think we're already there. Everybody is concerned about, because every day we still hear about this money. The moment, it becomes like a charitable thing for your leaders to give you your wage that you are worked for, then I think you see some of this governor making themselves like, the Lord of the Manor, and they don't care. Because they think they have the knife, and they're the one that's going to share it. I don't know, but for me, can we look at the expense of government? Can we cut these expenses? Some are non-essential. You see some of these people traveling around and traveling for minutes, and you tell us not to travel, but we see you travel every day or every time. That can we cut those expenses? We see your security vote that you are not even securing, but nobody is securing the country any longer. Can you look at it inward and cut that? Now, like Matuyunda said, if you have a structure that is producing beggars, I don't think it's charitable for you to throw coins at the beggar every time. These people are just praying for the coins, like beggars. But if that structure is producing beggars consistently, I think we need to look at restructuring this structure.
All right.
Such that you have resources. Some of these things are sitting on heavy resources. Restructure this system and let it work. And let people get their money and your infrastructure is done.
However, they will argue that a lot of these resources you're talking about, especially when you're talking about natural resources, they are all on the exclusive list that the states can't do anything about. But let's come to the argument that at a period of time where they're talking about the increment in minimum wage, there's also the increment in value-added tax. There's also the issue of stamp duty, and there are all sorts of bank charges and all of that, which a lot of people have argued that it is the issue of taking the minimum wage from the back door.
You see, again, it buttresses what I just said. You cannot even trust your leader with some of these policies. What this concern, the concern is always, how do we make money? How do we make the society, if you allow me to use that language, how do we make them? But they hardly consider how does it go back to these people. I mean, so how much are you increasing my salary by? Maybe I'm earning 30,000 before you want to pay me 35,000, and now you are increasing VAT, you are increasing this, you are increasing that, and already they are taking effect. What is little salary I'm asking for? You're not even ready to pay.
Before we let you go, what should NLC be looking at because ahead of the next minimum wage increment now? Because we have seen the struggles, the back and forth.
You see, unfortunately, I don't envy the position of the NLC leader because critically, it's between you going on strike and calling for a strike, and everybody goes on strike, and some of the leaders who are not even bothered. I mean, it doesn't matter whether you go on strike or not. To the extent that they can get their allocation, monthly allocation from Abuja, they think they are fine. The system is already bastardized, and allowing it to go further, allowing the decay further is terrible for us as a country. But like I said, I don't envy Wabara and the leaders, but I think, in fairness, what is due to this guy should be due to them. Can we? There's already a law. Yes, we're not calling for another round of negotiation. Can we just discuss when will you be able to pay? When will you be able to pay the backlog?
All right.
Can we look inward and reduce expenses and all that?
Okay. All right. Thank you so much, Dayo Lomuwagun, for your time on TVC Breakfast.
Thank you.